Okay, now I'm back. This is just the paper from the one bag, the inside, and I know some of you people probably would like to see some paper ripping, so you can see this paper's got that edge. Of course, everyone tells you you can't have that kind of edge, so we'll just tear it off so you can see. Ooh, that was exciting, wasn't it? Alright, now I got a few pieces more here in case you're really jonesing for paper ripping. It's a little wide. I'm just going to take them off and give them a quick rip. There, now you got to see the paper tearing. Now, what I did was I took some of the compound out and I took my bucket, you can see it in there, and I filled my bucket up just under halfway. I'm not doing any special measurements, nothing. I'm just guessing on this whole thing. So, all I can do is hope that it works. And like I said, I just took some compound out, dropped it in the bucket, and one of the other ingredients I forgot to mention was some water. I just got some water in the cup here. And what that does is between the glue, the compound, and the water mixed together, when you put it on, however it works, it helps it from not cracking. So as it dries, it won't split. So since I did about half of the compound, I'm going to do half the glue. And in it goes. Ooh. Okay, here's about half the glue. I'll put the lid back on. And we'll dump in some water. Pretty much what we want to do is thin it out. Make it a little easier to work with. So we'll just take this and start mixing it up. Some people might want to use an electric mixer for this. That's fine. I don't want to splash all over my kitchen because this is where I'm filming this whole thing, is in my kitchen. So I am just going to use a mixer by hand, paint mixer. Alright, now I'm going to add some more water because I want that thinner. And we'll just keep mixing it and mixing it until we get all that water incorporated. It takes a little while. You keep going at it, and it'll slowly get mixed in. So like I said, some of you might want to use a regular electric mixer. This would be a lot faster. Here we go. So now that's getting there, but I almost feel like it should be thinner than this, because that seems a little thick to me. You know, they always talk about consistency of what it should be, and I know that's close, but I think I'm going to add a little more water. Okay, a little more water. I'm going to thin it out a little more. Because what I'm going to do with that foam brush is I'm actually going to brush on the solution and then put the paper on and then brush more solution over that. I watched one gentleman's video, and that's the way he was doing his, and it's a lot cleaner and a lot neater doing it that way, so you don't get stuff all over the place. Alright, we're almost there. That's a lot better. I think that's the consistency we're looking for. put the lid back on my compound here so it doesn't dry out. Okay. So now, you should have plenty of working time with this. Okay. Can you see that? I think that's fairly thin enough. I know it's still a little thick, but I think that'll work. So now I'm going to move stuff out of the way here. Grab my little brush. Got our paper. And what I'm going to do with my pumpkin is I'm going to get a magic marker out of my drawer here. And I'm going to mark my pumpkin on the bottom with a marker. Because we have to let this sit and dry before we can flip it over and do the other side. Well, I want to make sure that when I set this down, it does not sit on the box and dry right to the box. That'd be horrible. And we would never get the thing off. So, as you can see, I marked it all the way around. So I know how I'm going to set it down on the box. And I know I can't go down past that. I just use electrical tape, black electrical tape on the stem for the top. So, alright. Dunk it in. I'm going to start right in the crack here. Right in the seam. Right up top. Slap on a good amount here. Don't have to be too concerned because we're just going coat for coat for coat here. Lay my paper on. I'm going to adjust this so it's going to offset a little bit in our seam here. And come back over it with the compound. Let it get wet. Kind of missed that spot. Because now this is all this is just going over and over and over and over and over, brushing all this stuff on. So, one thing I'm noticing here is that this paper might be a little thick. You know, it's almost like a grocery bag. And it's really stiff looking at it, trying to put it down here. So we will have to keep putting it on, and hopefully it'll soak in and work. Because if not, then I'm doing all this for nothing. Okay, we're just going to keep going at it. Cross our fingers. Hopefully as it sits on there and it gets wet. In fact, I'm even going to crumple it in my hands to try and make it a little softer, I guess. And of course you want to overlap your areas. And of course I see I'm going to need a lot of paper towels for cleaning my fingers here. Like I said, guys, this is my first try, so don't condemn my video too bad. I still don't know what the heck I'm doing, so. Just thought I'd give it a shot here because, you know, most people do this and they'll practice and they'll make a couple and then they'll make their video. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go buy the stuff today and give it a shot. Kind of like what you guys would do. Just go buy the product and give it a shot. Alright. That one on there. Press it down. Now, I don't know how my editing on the video is going to come out because I never done any video editing either. So, like I said, hopefully it'll be good. You can kind of tear and manipulate the paper as you need to here. I mean, it's your project. You can do whatever you want to it, right? So, there's that part. Slather this on. You're going to have wrinkles and crinkles and all kinds of stuff on there, but shouldn't matter too much because it's just a pumpkin. I mean, you're not looking to win some sort of paper mache competition or anything, so at least I know I'm not. I just want to make a pumpkin for Halloween and do it on the cheap, and I think this is pretty close to as cheap as you can get. Yeah, see, as that paper gets wet, it's laying down better, and I can kind of go back over and push things down a little bit. There's still going to be some bumps and everything in there, but hey, pumpkins got bumps in them. Alright, well, I'll probably have a music montage in here somewhere, so you'll have to sit here and listen to me blabber. Or I could just shut up. How's that? Wouldn't that be easier if I just shut up? Yeah, it probably would, but it's one thing I always had a hard time with, shutting up. Alright. I'm going to leave that one right there. Press it in my seam. Slather more of this on. So there you go, you kind of get an idea of what's going on here. I'm going to keep going back over my seams because I want them to be pretty pronounced in my pumpkin. I really want those to kind of stand out. I've seen people make it where you can't really see the seam in the pumpkin, you know, and I don't like that. I mean, it's a pumpkin. You got to be able to see that. Alright. see where newspaper would definitely be easier because it's got more flex when it gets wet. Its molding capacity is probably a lot better than what I'm trying to deal with here. But I didn't plan on doing this today, and we already did our recycling, so I have no newspaper. But I remembered I had these bags in the garage, so I thought, hey, I'm going to give them a shot. Why not? Don't discriminate because it's a yard bag. Alright. Well, I have to say, doing the brush-on technique is pretty nice here. I'm still getting junk all over my hands a little bit, but not too bad to the point to where it's like when you use your hands to do the paper mache and you got to squeeze it out and all that stuff. Yeah, this isn't too bad. Try to get enough of that in the seam there. Let's see. Ooh, more paper tearing. And again, just remember to overlap your pieces because you want them to connect. You want them to lock into each other, and that's what helps hold your piece all together. All right. Work my groove in there a little better. Hey, look at it. You may want to wear rubber gloves if you want, but as long as you don't get too much on your hands when you go to clean your hands off in the sink, it shouldn't be too bad. Trying to remember to stay above my mark here so when I put the piece onto the box here, it will sit above it and not stick to the box. And again, that's just pretty much how it sits on there, and then blob on some more. All right. I don't know if you can hear it, but yes, I have the jazz channel on in the background here because that's the kind of music I like. Besides Halloween stuff, but yeah, little jazz. There's my paper edge right there. Okay. Yeah, I think I got plenty of mud made up here to cover this whole thing. I won't have to mix up more. Good thing is you should be able to just cover it with a lid while you're in between coats, and it should hold and not set up on you. So for that aspect of it, you should be good. Okay, we're almost done with one whole round here. I figured I'd just keep the camera going for one whole round, and then I will shut it off, let this dry, and I do have a fan set up. I'm going to set up a fan to blow on it and let it dry and everything, and then I'll do my other coats, and when I get those done, then I'll fire the camera back up and show you guys where we're at, so you can see how we're doing. I'm going to make that a little shorter, crinkle it up, crinkle up the edge. Slip that on. All right. And I might wash my hands too. I shouldn't say might, I will wash my hands. Swap that all on. Press down any seams, edges, corners. Work your groove section again. Make sure that's all pressed down the way you like it. Get some. Make sure you got that detail of those grooves in there. So there's the start. I believe we made it all the way around. So now I am going to take our box, set it down, set that on top, and now I'll just do a quick section up top here around the wick or the stem, and then we'll be back.